We stand here before you today
as an advisor to college students around the state of Colorado,
as a sixth grade math teacher in the Montbello community. And as you may know, as educators, we end up being social workers, counselors, parents, brothers, sisters, friends, and yes, sometimes even foes.
We're in charge of shaping the futures of young people, and we love what we do.
But what you may not know is that our own futures are uncertain. You see, we end up shaping the future of many children, but our futures don't really exist right now.
I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, where I lived in a one-room cottage before being yanked out of kindergarten to go to first grade in the United States. I was raised in Phoenix, Arizona, where going to the grocery store with my mom meant hearing a string of racial slurs as we spoke our native Spanish to ask for the milk. You see, I lived in Maricopa County, the hotspot of the immigration debate. It was here that my dad was called a wetback at work, and every drive took twice as long because we were trying to avoid the raids that Sheriff Arpaio would inflict upon our community.
I was born in Valparaiso, Chile, and I was there till the age of 4. My mom left me at the age of 2, and she didn't make enough money to bring me to the United States until that time. I was raised in San Diego, California, and right around middle school, I came to realize that being undocumented meant that as soon as I graduated from high school, I would probably just end up working construction alongside my dad. So I stopped applying myself, and in middle school, I just opted for being the class clown. It's true. But there was a teacher who sort of changed that mentality about me. She helped me stop limiting myself because of my undocumented status. And as I moved into my freshman year of high school, I ended up getting my first all-A report card. Thank you. That hard work continued, and upon graduating from high school, I applied to 17 colleges and universities around the nation. I used and applied and filled out the paper FAFSA because there was a 9-digit code known as a social security number that prevented me from doing it online.
I went to the University of Pennsylvania, where I got my undergraduate degree from the same Wharton School of Business that Trump is so proud of. In Philadelphia, I found my voice and accepted my undocumented status, way before I was even proud of being Mexican. You see, I grew up thinking that being Mexican meant being dirty. I became a student activist, and I organized along my queer undocumented folks to get DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, a program that gave 800,000 of us a work permit, including myself.
I graduated from Whitman College in Walla Walla, Washington. Thank you. And while there, I didn't realize that people like Tanya were literally putting their bodies on the street to give us an opportunity like that. I was just happy that DACA meant that I wouldn't have to go back after graduating from college and work construction with my dad. Instead, I became one of the first 2 DACAmented teachers in the entire nation. You see, growing up, we think that we're going to limit ourselves to what our parents are doing before us. Cooks without any recognition, people who clean up hotels or homes, or like my father, end up working construction. But now we're at a place where our futures are once again uncertain. And my question to you is, what happens when people like us aren't allowed to dream anymore?
The threat to our dreams has taken many undocumented people down different paths. I still remember the families whose children attempted suicide due to the instability of their futures. Many youth have confided in me that they're scared to go to school due to their fear of being deported.
And that fear is only increasing in 2017. I remember the day after the elections, my documented students came to me asking me if they and their families were going to be deported.
Despite everything that our community has been through, we are still ready to fight.
Isn't that the point of the American dream? To live it?
So stop feeling sorry for us. We help our youth with their futures and fight for our own. The agency is in our hands, but we don't have the same rights that many of you do.
So we need your help to make sure that all immigrants are given the opportunity that we were. You see, to you, DACA might be a piece of paper or a thing that you briefly heard about in the news, but to us, it's our livelihood. It's the way that we get our licenses, that we acquire our jobs, the way that we provide for our families.
We could tell you to go out and vote, to call your representatives, to support the DREAM Act, to share this talk.
But really, what we want you to do is see us as humans. See, we come in all different levels. Some of us succeed, some of us fail, and we're everywhere in between. But despite our successes or failures, we just want you to see our humanity.
You know us. We're the educators leading the next generation. We're your neighbors down the street. My name is Tania Chairez.
I'm Alejandro Fuentes, and we are
Undocumented,
Unafraid, and Unapologetic.